Alright, now I'm a huge fan of The Who. Now, if you're one of these new school kids who listen to Drake, Maroon 5, Lil Yachty, Lil Baby, Imagine Dragons, all those garbage artists, you're not going to know the greatness and the sheer power music of The Who. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of what's happening. So the guitarist Pete Townshend has come out and said that he wants to make another Who album. I believe it's their 13th album. He wants to make a 13th album with Roger Daltrey. I'm a huge fan of Roger Daltrey. He's one of my favorite singers of all time. I even have a book by him. A great read. Definitely recommend it if you're a fan of The Who or just rock music in general. So, anyway, I digress. So, Pete Townshend wants to make a new album, but Roger Daltrey is kind of reluctant about it. He says that streaming really doesn't give you much money, which in his case you're right. Streaming mostly pays the record labels, and pretty much the bands and just artists from streaming just get like nickels and dimes. It's not worth anything. The real money is with touring. That's where most artists get their money. Little fun fact for you there. But Pete Townshend was like, yeah, I have drafts and drafts of music, but Roger Daltrey just doesn't really want to see him to make music. And the two have always had kind of like a rocky relationship ever since the 60s, so they always have to argue and just fight over stuff a lot. But so this is really nothing new that they're debating and just arguing and just not getting along right now. So I kind of wanted to weigh in because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of The Who. I listened to all their albums. I listened to their interviews, their live albums. I read their books. I haven't read the Pete Townshend book, but I'm getting to it. I will definitely read it by the end of next year. So I got a lot on my reading list. So I just want to come out and say I do not want another Who album. I know it's going to be a huge shock because, like I said, The Who are one of my favorite bands of all time. Definitely a top 5 classic rock band for me. But I just feel like The Who have just run their course. I feel like they have nothing left to say. Now, maybe Pete Townshend, the writer of The Who, the guitar player, he's pretty much like the leader and the most important member of The Who. That might be controversial, but it's true. Pete Townshend has pretty much just said everything that he needed to say. I mean, think about it. In the 60s, they came out with My Generation, which is pretty much just like a OK Boomer for the for the 60s. They were angry. They were like, they had that classic line, "I hope I die before I get old." They were just like young rock and roll stars. The elders hated them. They hated the elders back. So there was just kind of that. And now we fast forward to 2019, I believe, when the Who, 2019 when the album Who came out, their 13th album, and they just talk about like getting older, getting wiser, and all that stuff. So I feel like it's just come full circle. At first, The Who was like this young band who hated old stuff, who hated old people. The old people hated them, and then fast forward, half a century. The Who are older now. 2 of their members sadly passed away: Keith Moon and John, their bassist. And so the singer and the guitar player are now older. Now they are the people that they hated in the 60s, right? And I just want to say I applaud Pete Townshend for saying that he supports the younger generation. He says he likes to listen to younger people music, or that's such a weird word. He likes to listen to newer music. He said he's a huge fan of the singer Thundercat, which is a really cool. But I just feel like it's come full circle. Like now they're like the old people now, and they're just like looking at the young generation. So I feel like they really have nothing left to say. And they already talked about all that in their Who album from 2 years ago. So I really feel like they have nothing left to say. Maybe Pete Townshend should just release a solo album. That's what I want. But I really don't want another Who album because I feel like Who is just when I say Who, I'm talking about their album Who, their latest album that came out in 2019. I feel like Who was just like the perfect closer for the Who. They've come full circle. They're talking about getting old. They're talking about getting wiser. They're talking about just like reflecting on the past. And I just feel like it's like a perfect climactic close. Kind of what Black Star was to David Bowie, but yeah, I just don't want another Who album. I just feel like it's finished. It's done. The Who just have nothing left to prove. Apparently Pete Townshend doesn't feel that way. That man just loves writing music. He's a musical freak, but yeah, I don't want another Who album. That's all I gotta say for this video. I wanted to make it short, but it's about 5 minutes long. I was hoping to make a 3-minute long video, but it just went on. So, if you like The Who, leave a comment below. I know most of the people who are subscribed to my channel are Marilyn Manson fans, which is cool, but I wanted to talk about one of my favorite bands of all time. So if you like The Who, leave a comment. And if you don't like The Who, talk about like another 60s or 70s band that you like The Doors, Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Thin Lizzy, any of those cool bands. So yeah, that's all I got for today. If you want me to talk about more classic rock stuff, which is kind of like my favorite musical genre, just let me know and I'll make some more stuff. So yeah, peace.